So in just a second, I'm going to be answering some of your questions. So first, what I want to do is read off a few reviews from Amazon. So all the people who've written a review here on Amazon have the ability to enter to win a free NutriBullet blender. So the Dr. Amy Myers, or Dr. Myers, changed my life. She helped me reverse my autoimmunity, and now there's a cookbook. I love that there's a cookbook because I'm not so great at coming up with different ideas. When I found out the cookbook was coming out, I pre-ordered it as soon as I could, and that's how excited I was. Amazon customer just received their book and can't wait to try the recipes. Peggy received her cookbook. Amy provides a step-by-step guide, food to table with delicious recipes, hoping to relieve my lupus symptoms and discomfort. Excited to finish reading the book and try out the recipes. So I'll get into that about how this book is much more than just a cookbook and recipes. It's actually a standalone book if you haven't read any of my other books as well. Let's see. Deanna, so many facts and recipes will make people with issues feel better. I have been anxiously awaiting the arrival of my new cookbook. I prefer hard copies versus looking everything up online. After receiving it today, I can hardly wait to try the recipes. The information included in this book is invaluable. So many facts and recipes that will make people with issues feel better and turn people's lives and health around. So thankful Dr. Amy shares her knowledge with everyone. Praise God. So Debbie, can't wait to try the recipes in this cookbook. I have a little bit of food sensitivities and can't wait to try things. I've been reading the last two books she wrote, The Thyroid Connection, The Autoimmune Solution. Dr. Myers is a wonderful person taking time out of her busy lifestyle to help us out. It's not easy dealing with thyroid issues or other autoimmune diseases, so thanks so much. Okay, RX Doc. I've followed Dr. Myers for a couple of years now, and she's educated me about the benefits of clean eating, how to treat my autoimmunity and take my life back from illness. I credit her with the success of being happy and healthy once again. I don't know where I'd be without her dedication to education and truth about our gut and food. So thank you guys all for your reviews. Really appreciated each of you guys. And please know that your reviews don't only have to go on Amazon. If you bought your book at Barnes & Noble or at Target, you can write a review there and still post your review on my page. So just remember that the cookbook is far more than just a cookbook. As I mentioned, it's a standalone book. So if you've not read any of my other books, you can go through the program just by doing this book alone. The first part of the book is all about my life and what's happened since I wrote the first book, a review of the autoimmune solution, the 4 pillars of the Myers Way, 150 brand new recipes. About 5 have been repeated because they were so good we couldn't keep them out of the book. Otherwise, all new recipes, and then even tips on how to get your family involved, tips on travel. So it's chock full of information. We even have a handy dandy little cheat guide if you're doing a SIBO program, you're following the Candida, you're following the Myers Way Thyroid Connection Plan or the Autoimmune Solution Plan. We have a nice handy dandy cheat sheet in the back, what recipes work for which one. And so the book is really amazing. There are 40 photographs of different recipes, which people have written in their reviews, have been super helpful to know just kind of what the dish should look like or how it could turn out. Just want you guys to know, because I know there's this whole fear factor out there of how things look so pretty on Pinterest and people can't live up to those standards. When I made these, ours didn't turn out quite as beautiful as these. We hired a professional chef and photographer to get these, to make the recipes themselves and then photograph them. So please, when you start making recipes, take pictures of them. I'm sure they'll look gorgeous. If they don't look as perfect as these photos, know that these, were professionally shot by a photographer. Let me see. I honestly, water chestnuts, I don't believe a water chestnut is they're a plant rather than a nut, so you can absolutely have a water chestnut on the protocol. So blue-green algae can be really filled with a lot of micronutrients that can be super helpful to your immune system, to your gut. You just need to be super careful about algae and make sure that they're coming from a very clean source. A lot of sources of algae can have high amounts of radiation. So be very careful about the amount of algae that you're getting, or where the source is that you're getting it from. In general, endometriosis, anything ending in osis or isis is a inflammatory condition. So following the autoimmune protocol, or the Myers way, is a great way to help with endometriosis in general. In terms of endometriosis, like a flare in the moment, besides really looking at the diet and following all 4 pillars, in general speaking, magnesium can be super helpful for some people. Evening primrose can be helpful for some people. I know other people have done, castor oil packs can be helpful. Infrared saunas could be helpful for some people. So those are things that I hear of. And then of course, anti-inflammatories like a curcumin, fish oils, things like that. So if it's dealing with, so Sjogren's attacks a lot of secretory glands. So in autoimmunity, we're dealing with typically antibodies come out many years, up to 5 years or more before disease potentially does. Then there becomes an inflammatory stage. Then there becomes a destructive phase. Like with Hashimoto's, it destroys the thyroid, or with diabetes, it destroys your pancreas. So, if it's destroying your salivary glands, there is some potential that we're not able to get the destruction of that gland back. So you might need something like, eye drops, or to help secrete, your saliva, sucking on a mint or something like that. So you might, if there's been enough destruction, you might need, just to replete with some, lubricants or things like that. However, if there hasn't been destruction of the actual gland, and you're in the inflammatory component of that, absolutely we can go back and reverse that and get symptom-free. Well, I shouldn't say absolutely. Many people have been known to reverse that and get symptom-free when they're in the inflammatory stage, and stop it from progressing. And since it's only in the inflammatory stage and no real destruction of the gland has happened, then get those symptoms reversed as well. So first is obviously following the program in the Autoimmune Solution or the Thyroid Connection. With thyroid problems, I'd highly recommend that you follow the program in the Thyroid Connection. Of course, you can supplement with many more recipes. All the recipes in the Autoimmune Solution are, you can use those recipes for the Autoimmune Solution if you're following that program, or the Thyroid Connection. Also, if you're following Candida or SIBO, like I said, there's a chart in the back. Then some people who aren't as familiar with me have been asking, are all the recipes nut-free? Are they gluten-free? Are they dairy-free? Absolutely. All the recipes are gluten-free, dairy-free, egg-free, soy-free, corn-free, nightshade-free, nut-free, and even grain-free. So, and you wouldn't even believe how delicious. We still have recipes for things like pancakes and waffles and brownies, and then of course delicious things like ribs and pork chops and lamb and things like, what we tried to do is make more comfort type food. So there's like a spaghetti and meatballs. There's pizza. So more of those comfort foods. There's a lot more ingredients that are available now, like cassava and tiger nut, that were not available before, and we had to use just coconut flour. So I do include pancakes, like I said, and even muffins and waffles in the book, but I definitely wouldn't want people just eating muffins every morning, right? Unless you're, adding some collagen or something. We want you to get protein, and we want to make sure you're getting vegetables and you're getting fruits. So, but all the recipes in the cookbook they're sugar-free as well. So they either have stevia if it's a dessert or something like that, or it's using natural sweetness from a banana, or it's using a little bit of maple syrup, all natural maple syrup, real maple syrup, things like that. So as long as you're not on Candida or SIBO or something where you would need to really limit those, but just, use your, guidance that, it's probably not healthy, even if it is an autoimmune approved, to be eating, pancakes every single morning, right? So we want to be making sure we're getting in protein, fruits, vegetables, and eating a really balanced diet. Absolutely. Eczema is an inflammatory condition, and the book is designed to help people with inflammatory conditions and autoimmune conditions. Great thought. We only did them for the United States, but maybe on a reprint we can add in for around the world. Don't mean to be United States centric. I just forget how many of you guys, which is so many outside of the United States, follow my program. So I appreciate that feedback, and we will try to get that updated, or maybe we can at least get some conversions done for you and get that put up on the website or create a blog about that. So I have blogs about this on my website. I have information about this in the cookbook, and each of my other books, the Autoimmune Solution and the Thyroid Connection, what exactly to look for. But a delayed food sensitivity reaction can basically be anything from brain fog to a headache to swelling to a rash to digestive issues. But a lot of people don't have digestive issues, which is why these food sensitivities can go unnoticed or unaddressed for so long, because people are not connecting food to their headache or to their fatigue. They're only connecting it to their digestive issue. So if you have not specifically picked up a copy of the Thyroid Connection, I would highly recommend that you do that, because I talk about that very, very specifically in the Thyroid Connection. Also know that your thyroid is a movie, and when you get blood work done, you're getting a, freeze frame of that movie. So I don't know how much these things changed, but if it's, just by a, fraction of a point, that could just be natural in how they do the testing, or your body is constantly, thyroid is converting all the time. Even if you draw your blood and you check the same sample twice, you could get a slightly different number. So you have to really look, is the change significant or insignificant? For some people it's insignificant, for other people it is significant, and it's really looking at that. But I definitely walk through that in the Autoimmune Solution. So I have an article on acid reflux, and I'd highly recommend that you just Google my name and acid reflux. And yes, for many, many people, acid reflux resolves, because again, people are taught you have acid reflux, don't eat the spicy foods, don't eat the citrus, don't eat things like that. And really, for some people, it could be corn, or it could be dairy, or it could be gluten, or it could be that you have been on an acid reflux medication and now you have yeast or SIBO, because you need that acid to kill off those infections. So I definitely walk through tips about that specifically in all of the books, and just following the diet or picking up a copy of the cookbook can absolutely help. And I have a free blog on my website as well about that. So if you go onto my website, well, in the cookbook, I link you to my website where you can take a quiz to determine if you have Candida or SIBO. So I would highly recommend that you go over, and I believe that it's just amymyersmd.com/quiz where you can do that. And, or if you have a copy of either of my earlier books, there's a quiz in there to help you determine some things that I notice between the difference of them. Candida seems to be more systemic, that people have brain fog, itching, rashes, rectal itching, vaginal itching, ear itching. SIBO tends to be a lot more bloating. Stomach was flat in the morning, ate, I look 6 months pregnant. So those are generalities of things that I hear, but I have a free quiz that you can take to help you determine which one you have, if either, both, or neither. Guys, I really, really, really appreciate all of your support. I want to acknowledge you and appreciate you for being so committed to taking back your health, for raising healthy families, for being part of the movement to change this face of medicine. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much for all of your support and all that you do. And I am reading all of the reviews and comments that are coming in over the last couple days. So thank you, thank you, thank you to all of you who have helped support my mission. All right, everybody, have an awesome rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon.